Let's look at the best format for an SQL command. Why is an SQL statement normally written on multiple lines? What are clauses, keywords, and identifiers? Can you use any name you want to identify data? Here's a sample statement showing the various components. You may include a comment ahead of or behind the SQL statement. Comments must be on a separate line and are ignored by the SQL interpreter. Most vendors use a starting double hyphen for comments. IBM's DB2 uses /* to start the comment and */ to end the comment. Normally each keyword is placed on a separate line with its operators, symbols, and identifiers. Keywords are reserved words such as select, from, where, order by, and so forth. Identifiers cannot match reserved words and are names chosen by you to identify tables, views, columns, indices, aliases, and so forth. SQL statements end with a terminating character and is almost always a semicolon. You may pause this presentation at any time to study the detail. SQL statements may be in upper and/or lowercase letters. Normally, anything that is not between quotes is typed in capital letters and is displayed using a type font where each character has the same width. This way, the SQL statement can be aligned for readability. The SQL interpreter does not care if the statement is on one line or multiple lines, and it ignores extra spaces and tabs. The formatting of SQL statements is to make it easier for humans to read. Here are two identical statements. The one on the left is unformatted, uses full table names, and is hard for a person to read and figure out what is going on. The one on the right is formatted, uses table aliases, and is much easier for a person to read. Both statements are correct and will execute the same, but the one on the right is easier to maintain. Don't worry about the details. They will be covered later. Here we see three identical statements with different formatting. The first statement is very scattered. The second statement is all on one line. And the third statement is in a more readable format. Here are some rules for making your statements readable. Always begin a new line with each clause in the statement. Use spaces or tabs to indent when arguments of a clause exceed one entry. Begin a new line with each column name in the select statement. Begin a new line with each table name in the from clause. Begin a new line with each condition in the where clause. Use spaces and tabs consistently. Use table aliases when multiple tables are used. Use remarks sparingly if they are allowed in your implementation. Identifier names are chosen by you and must not match any reserved words. They can be any length up to 128 characters in most databases and should be meaningful names. They should start with a letter and contain only letters, numbers, and/or underscore characters. Use underscore characters to make the name more readable, such as seen here. Employee last name is easier to read with an underscore between each word. We hope you found this information useful, and please come visit us at computerbasedtraininginc.com.